Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Jacqui Van Ham, your girl in the know for all things motorcycle with your Choppertown daily news and events. What's going on out there, Choppertown land? Welcome back to your midweek show out here. As always, I can see your comments, so feel free to peek in and say hello. Feel grüß. Wolfgang, what's going on out there? And Jeff Smith, one of our top fans. Welcome back, top fans. Thank you for tuning in. A little bit of news going on for this week and some events. That's right. Events are starting to come back. Praise Jesus. Events are starting to come back. If you've been a regular watcher of the show, you know that the majority of the work that I do is in the event industry. So it has been a challenging past couple of months with everything being on lockdown and under quarantine. There's a super legit reason why, people got to be safe. I'm not talking shit, but I am very pleased to see some events come back on the calendar, and I've been enjoying watching some of my friends go out to some of these events in the past week. Some racing that went on up at Moto America last weekend, and a couple of other fun bike nights and things and stuff that are going on. So anyway, today's show, I've got some really super interesting news about the motorcycling industry and the pandemic and the quarantine, and I've got some events coming your way. That's right, some events are being added slowly back to the calendar. So thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back. Just a real quick note also, if you are over on the YouTubes, feel free to cruise on over to the Choppertown YouTube channel. I'm starting to push these videos over there as well. So feel free to please come on over, give us a subscribe and all that good stuff, and show us some love over there. So let's get started. First things first. I mentioned on the news show a couple of weeks back a really super interesting statistic that just blew my mind. And that is that, of course, in the past several months, dealerships have been closed. They've had to pivot and change how bikes are being sold. There's all these measures and steps that had to be put into place in order to sell motorcycles. So in the beginning of March, that when I was down in Daytona with everybody and we were all kind of wondering what was going to happen to motorcycling, all of us were like, oh God, and sponsors tightened their budgets and money dried up and everybody was like boop boop boop, like it was just going to be a total catastrophe. Those were all very legitimate thoughts. None of us had a crystal ball. None of us knew what was going to happen. But now statistics are starting to come to light about what has really been happening out here in the power sports space. And I've been mentioning it on a couple of shows because I've been talking to industry folks and other dealerships and other vloggers, and I knew something was going on out here. Now, I'm not saying like I've got a crystal ball, but I just was like, motorcycles are selling. Like, power sports are going through the roof right now. People are stuck at home. They've got more quality time at home. You're stuck with your family. I mean that in the best possible way. But it's like, how can people go and recreate and have fun, but stay distant? And if that doesn't say power sports, I do not know what in the hell does. So I have been doing my research, and it is absolutely true. Dirt bike sales are up 30%. The several dealerships that I've had the fortune of talking to, face to face, this is legit from the horse's mouth. They are out of side-by-sides and quads. They can't get bikes in fast enough. They can't get side-by-sides or four-wheelers in fast enough. They are like sold out. RV sales are through the roof. Camper vans are through the roof. Trailers are through the roof. Everybody right now and for the next 5-6 months, what is normally riding season, everybody is taking it outside and going and riding and enjoying spending time with their families, I'm assuming, or just with themselves and with their buddies. Folks are out more than ever, and that is my first huge round of applause for today. Bravo! Good job, everybody. Now, I'm not really sure exactly why those numbers went through the roof. Like I just mentioned, though, my ideas are that people are tired of being cooped up, looking for a way to recreate but still be socially distant. I mean, for God's sake, you've got a glove and helmets on, right? Like, you can't be any more distant but having fun and doing stuff than doing it with power sports. So that is kind of my belief. Of course, people are talking about the stimulus checks that were floating around, maybe gave people a little goose if they've been eyeballing a new bike or new quad, gave them a little goose, gave them a little down payment. There's lots of different thoughts going on. So I found an article that was released just this past week from Cycle World, and it's talking about the same things. The streets are quiet, supply chains have disintegrated, unemployment is at record highs, equity markets are schizophrenic in the best of weeks, so it's standard reason that all economic indicators and consumer spending in particular will be down for the year as well. A major contradiction would certainly not be unexpected. A major contraction, would certainly not be unexpected. This is from my friends over at cycleworld.com. Well, that's true for the most part, but actually, and perhaps counterintuitively, motorcycle sales are up. You heard that right. Across the board, retail sales for the last 3 months have shown a steady uptick. It's more obvious in certain segments, like dirt, but the trend is undeniable. Year-to-date power sports, when they look at all this information, it's everything together. It's four-wheelers and two-wheelers. Power sports sales are better than they've been in years. Can you say pandemic paradox? So the folks over at Cycle World were reporting on this uptick as well, this really very exciting time right now in power sports. Is this in a weird way a silver lining to be a bit of a fix to the downturn and kind of plateauing that power sports has had for the past several years? Is this a way to get people kind of hooked and plant the bug in them, the seed in them, to come on out and continue riding and continue being part of the power sports family? I sure hope so. But here's an interesting thing. Now that we have all of these new riders and new people in power sports, there's a couple different things that are going on. One of which is our friends at Harley-Davidson have decided to add a motorcycle training program to select dealerships. So my second applause for the day goes to Harley-Davidson for stepping up and realizing that with the sales of all of these new bikes and power sports and watercraft and all this stuff going on, people are going to need some training, right? So they've went ahead and added to select dealerships, like I mentioned, this program of training folks up. I thought that this was really interesting because it is, as opposed to the usual MSF instructors that they've had at dealerships for the past several years, which is awesome and they do a hell of a good job, they're adding kind of one-on-one type initiatives to dealerships. Harley-Davidson introduces new Learn to Ride initiatives. Experience the Ride and Learn to Ride programs offer new ways to experience two wheels. Turn someday I'll ride a motorcycle into today with new ways to learn to ride from participating Harley-Davidson dealers. Inspired by new rider feedback, select Harley-Davidson dealers are offering 2 new programs that aim to make learning to ride more convenient and personalized. These new programs are designed to provide flexible scheduling and a learning pace that suits the rider's needs. Personal coaching sessions can be scheduled one-on-one or as a private group with up to 4 participants. So there's going to be Experience the Ride, which is for folks that have never been on a bike ever in their lives. This is a chance to go to the dealership and shift through a bike. Learn to Ride, again, is the course, and I believe it's a 4-part course. You could book it one-on-one or with a group of your buddies up to 4. And again, that is going to be the Learn to Ride program. And they're adding a refresher course to this program as well. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is not only the news of motorcycle sales and power sports being up, which is phenomenal. Dirt bikes up 30%. Not only is that just very, very exciting news, but for several years now, there's been kind of this weird thing going on in motorcycle training and MSF and motorcycle licensing. And here's the weird thing that's been happening that you may or may not be aware of. So there is a huge discrepancy, a huge number of folks that are taking the training, passing the course, and then not going to the DMV and getting their license. Like, the number is crazy. I think it's like 50 or 75% or something. I couldn't find it fast enough. So just trust me when I tell you the number is massive. So why on earth are all these people going to the trouble of going to the dealer, training, bringing the gear, getting on the bike, learning to ride, because you can take the practical exam at most DMV or at most dealers when you take that MSF. A lot of them offer an on the spot. You can get your written, like your pass that you've done the practical exam, and all you have to do is go to the DMV, pay the upgrade to your license, and take the written test and take a photo, and you have your M endorsement now. But there's this huge number of people that have not done it. So they're like, well, why in the hell are people going all this trouble and not getting the motorcycle endorsement? Now, Part of it might be a culture out here in motorcycling of riding dirty. I do know folks that have ridden for years and years and years that have never gotten their endorsement. Shame on you. But that's part of it. So what they're trying to do now is make this be more on one-on-one. That way they can address these types of concerns right on the spot and not in front of people, a group of, 15 to 20 people, where you might be embarrassed to ask that stupid question, even though technically there's no such thing as a stupid question, or you think you did something wrong or you're unsure. This is a chance for them to really focus on that new rider and help coach them along and help get them to the DMV to get that M endorsement and buy that first bike. So I thought that was really, really excellent news. So congratulations to Harley-Davidson. Of course, you can click over to harley-davidson.com for more information about that program. My next bit of news for this past week, if you're a regular watcher of the show, I brought this up a couple of shows ago, that Norton Motorcycles has been in the doghouse for liberating, is that the nice way of saying it? Liberating some money from investors to the tune of, I think it was like $11 million or something crazy town. Anywho, Norton went under, they had to fold, they basically went into foreclosure. And Norton, as an intellectual property and as a brand, was sold to a very, very large Indian, as in the country Indian, not Indian motorcycle, but as in the country India, not as in Indian motorcycle. Woo, that was a tongue twister. Anywho, they were sold to an Indian company who's going to bootstrap them and reconfigure it and make it be awesome. I'm 100% sure. But in the meanwhile, folks were like, well, what is going on with the people over at Norton? Well, ex-Norton CEO must repay 14 million pounds in lost funds and interest to pensioners. Remember that February 13th, 2020 pensions hearing that embattled former Norton Motorcycles CEO Stuart Garner opted not to attend. Even if you don't recall the exact date, you may remember a bit about the pensions twist if you've been following the ups and downs of Norton Motorcycles prior to its purchase by TVS, which is that Indian motorcycle company I was just talking about. To refresh your memory, the crux of the matter rests on three separate pension funds. Early British pensioners invested money into all three of those schemes that was then only routed into investment in Norton Motorcycles. Mysteriously, the trustee of said pension funds was none other than then CEO of Norton, Stuart Garner. Does this feel as much Scooby-Doo to you as it does to us? This is from the folks over at Ride Apart. The long and short of it is, investigative reporting from The Guardian and ITV helped bring much of the Norton pension scandal to light in 2019, and The Guardian calculates the full amount Garner must now repay at about 14 million pounds, or around 17.4 million US dollars. So Norton Motorcycles is going to have to find some money real fast to pay back. Mr. Stuart Garner is officially in the doghouse. Now, some events being added back to the calendar. Woo! This weekend going on up in Wisconsin. Some dirt track, flat track racing, July 4th and 5th. The District 16 motorcycle and quad shootout going on up there. There's going to be some top quad, $1,500 to win each day. So this is 2-wheel and 4-wheel dirt track and flat track racing. This is at the Wausau 525 track, July 4th and 5th. You can find more information and details at Wausau525.com. Again, that is up in Wisconsin. Also going on this weekend in dirt track and flat track racing, in Indiana, however, in Plymouth, Indiana, Friday, July 3rd, there is a short track. Saturday, the 4th of July, there's a half-mile track. 2 full days of racing put on by our friends over at Steve Nace Racing. Again, this goes on up at Plymouth, Indiana. They've got amateur, they've got little kids, they've got 125 4-stroke, 150 4-stroke. They've got a veterans, 25 and over, super seniors, 50 and over. All sorts of classes. They've got an expert class going on as well, and there's stay for the fireworks both nights. Again, that is our friends over at Steve Nace Racing going on this weekend in Indiana. Also this weekend, my event partner for this past month, She Rides Moto, woo! is going on this weekend down in beautiful Maryville, Tennessee. July 2nd through the 5th, there's a welcome party, rides, free live music, awesome hangouts with kick-ass moto babes going on down in the beautiful foothills of the Smoky Mountains in Maryville, Tennessee. That is also the location and same umbrella under as Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson. So What that means for you and me is not only should you go down there if you're one of my awesome women who watches this show and you are in the area, come ride motorcycles in the beautiful Smokies this weekend at She Rides Moto, but I'm sure there's going to be a party and all sorts of fun stuff going on at Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson as well, which is a phenomenal dealership. If you've never been, I cannot encourage it enough. They've got a huge bar and music area. I mean, it's like a concert venue, mini restaurant, huge dealership, all in one compound. It's super kick-ass and a great time, and they've been my official event partner for the month of June. So thank you so much to She Rides Moto. Click over to She Rides Moto, the Instagram page, for more information and details. Again, women's motorcycling event for all my moto babes that watch the show. She Rides Moto is this weekend. Another event that's going on, I want to give you a little bit of an early warning because I am going to be traveling next week. There is an event called Thunder on the Strip. It is a free event. It is July 9th through the 12th in Gettysburg, not to be confused with Gettysburg Bike Week. This is not that event. They had to cancel because of COVID-19. However, some locals decided to kind of bootstrap and put together their own program, and they're going to be hosting a ride, and there's going to be hangouts and music and a swap meet and all sorts of fun stuff. It is a free event. Again, this is not the official Gettysburg Bike Week that was canceled. This is just a cool event that the locals have put together. That way they can still hang out and ride motorcycles anyway. I'm sure they will all be following social distancing guidelines down there. Again, that is Thunder on the Strip, free event. You can go over to Facebook and type that into your search bar and go track down more information. That is next weekend, July 9th through the 12th. Now, I'm going to be traveling, you say? Well, where the hell am I going? I am jumping on a great big plane and heading down to Tampa Bay, Florida for an event on July 11th. That is next Saturday, not this, but next Saturday, July 11th, Clay by the Bay. Flat track motorcycle racing is going to be going on in Tampa. This is a live in-person event, so if you are in the Florida, southern, southeast type area and you race, well, first of all, you should be coming and racing with us. Secondly, you should be coming and spectating at this kick-ass event because Lord knows there ain't been much racing going on, and I know you are gagging to come out and watch some bikes. Come on down and check it out. This is a live in-person event, but if you can't make it, we will be streaming it over on fight.tv. This is a pay-per-view feature, but it's only $14.99 for an entire program of kick-ass racing. I'm super excited to go. I've been circling back and touching base with them, and the event is still on. It still is up and running. So I am getting on a plane and heading on down there. I'm going to be doing some commentary. I'm going to be holding down some of the hosting duties over on fight.tv. So make sure you go click over by yourself that pay-per-view. Go ahead, click on it. You are not going to want to miss it. I think it's going to be a hell of a good time. They've got a gazillion types of classes being represented. Little bikes, amateurs, kids, big bikes, seniors. They added a hooligan class. There's going to be all sorts of rad stuff going on, and there is promised some stars from the AFT, American Flat Track Race Series, are going to be on hand as well, because their very first race of the season is the following weekend, the 18th, in Volusia County in Volusia, Florida. So all of the big dogs are going to be hanging out and heading down to Florida anyway, so maybe they want to get a little extra seat time, do a little bit of a practice, pick up a purse, why not? Come racing with us. So I guarantee it's going to be a really awesome time, and it's in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Come say hey, come join us. So that's what's been going on out here as far as motorcycling events and things and stuff. What do you guys think about that out there? Some exciting news going on, some positive vibes and positive things going on at motorcycling. People are buying bikes. And that leads me to another really interesting conversation that I've been having the past, honestly, 5 days. Even though it's July already, 5 days. My phone has been blowing up a little bit about Sturgis. Finally, even though it's in a month. So people are finally starting to make some decisions about Sturgis. Are you going to Sturgis? I don't know, with all these new bikes, campers, and RV sales, I kind of feel like Sturgis has potential to be pretty bonkers this year. So I am still planning on going. I have not firmed up any bookings with anybody yet, but I've got a couple of offers, and we're going to be hammering that out this week. But I'm definitely planning on going. I think with these bike sales through the roof and people being stuck at home, I mean, don't you want to get on a bike and go ride halfway across America and go see some scenery and some buffalo and whatever the hell goes on out there and go see Sturgis and come hang out with us? I think it's going to be kind of bonkers. What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think about what's going to happen out at Sturgis, or if you're going to be going to Sturgis. Let me know. I'm genuinely wondering if you are. Of course, you know, my buddies are all in the motorcycling industry, so we're all planning on going, but I want to know if you are going. Are you getting on your bike? Are you riding out? Are you trailering? I don't care. Either way, you got to stay somewhere, right? Hotels are a gazillion dollars there. So no shade if you're bringing your stuff in a trailer or an RV. No shade from me. Anywho, what do you guys think about that? Some exciting news for the week, some good news, some positive vibes going on. I try to keep it positive out here for you. But I will be back on Friday with another Fun Fact Friday show. I have not decided yet what it's going to be. I will probably be down at my garage, though, maybe working on something, maybe wrenching on something, maybe talking about some engine basics. Come on back. You're not going to want to miss it. So thanks as always for tuning in. I could not do this show without each and every one of you tuning in. Thank you so much to my Choppertown family over here. Thank you so much to my show sponsor, Vroom. Vroom or Track Vac, vroomyourroom.com. Go check it out. This thing sucks, and it's totally supposed to. The All Things Motorcycle podcast is up and running and rocking and rolling. It is over at Stitcher and Buzzsprout and SoundCloud. It's all over the place. I try to do my best to post it everywhere. So go check it out. Go look for it. Again, that's the All Things Motorcycle podcast. She rides moto this weekend, July 2nd through the 5th. Come on down. Come see us, ladies. Support the show. Click over to twostroketees.com. I've got my first edition, limited edition shirt up for sale still in dark gray or awesome marigold color, gold color, very 70s, very rad. Click on over. It is free shipping in the US. And my event partner for this month, Clay by the Bay, with that $5,000 purse going on the 11th of July down in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. Let's go back through and say hey to some of you in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. First time here. Thank you, Juan. First time. Holger from Germany, thank you for tuning in. Radek from Czech Republic, what's going on? Kevin Turner, thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Steve Davis and Motorcycle Riders of Maine, thank you so much for sharing. Polly, one of our top fans, regular viewers. Top fan, Dennis, thank you for tuning in from Marengo, Illinois. Make sure you take a second and go ahead and share this video. The more eyeballs we get, the more I get to do what I do out here. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.